I guess I'll kick it off by saying that I felt really called to share my testimony. I've never felt called to do it, and I've used some of y'all as guinea pigs already, so thank y'all for already listening to me. Uh, I'll give you a background on my family. My dad was the frat star, the athlete. He's an SAE, and my mom is one of the most spiritual people I know. And I don't know how they ended up getting together, but it worked out for a while. I remember being a little kid and going to my baseball games, and my mom would drive me there, and my dad was my hero, and I was like always wondering why my dad wasn't at my baseball games, and it really bothered me, and I thought it was something that I was doing, something that was my fault, and I kept blaming myself for it, and this is whenever I was a little kid. Come to find out, my dad was having an affair, and broke my family, and I hated him for as long as I can never remember until I could finally say I love you again this past year. So we just got past that state. My mom picked us up, me and my little brother, and we left my dad after the affair. And we moved in with her brother, which is my uncle. And we moved in with her family until my mom got enough money scraped together to provide food for me and my little brother and rent a trailer. So we lived in this trailer in Petal, Mississippi for a long time. And my mom was always out working, trying to provide for me and my little brother. So that left me with a lot of free time to do whatever I wanted to. I was in middle school, and I think in some ways I was looking for a authoritative male figure in my life, one of the older guys. And so I was hanging out with high school guys all the time, thinking that they were my bros, my guys, my good friends, and they were just honestly guys in the neighborhood that were in this trashy neighborhood that were just wanting to see a little kid high all the time. And alcohol and drugs were a big influence in my life at a really young age. My mom ended up marrying the guy who owned the trailer. He was a construction worker, and he took us into his family, and he turned it. I thought he was a great guy at first. He showed us all this cool stuff. He had a lot of money, so he kept showing us his four-wheelers, and we got to ride those and everything like that. And I thought it was great. And then they ended up getting married, and we moved to Oak Grove. And as soon as we moved to Oak Grove, they hadn't been married for a couple of months, and then my stepfather started physically abusing me and my little brother for probably about 2 years. And my mom ended up finding out, and then shortly after, she brought my stepfather to Christ. And I thought that it was stupid and everything like that, but the only thing I knew is that he stopped beating me and my little brother, so that's the only thing I cared about. And I was completely satisfied with that. After that happened, he just kept, he could never say that he was sorry for anything, and I think that's a big male thing, having that much pride, because I have it too. And he just ended up kept buying us stuff to kind of pay us off, to say, hey, I do care about y'all, but I'm sorry for everything I did, And he ended up buying us this go-kart, and I was on Highway 11 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, driving it whenever I was in 8th grade, and got in an accident on the highway that almost killed me. And I remember getting to the ER and staying there, and I was then there the second night, and at 3 a.m. One of the youth pastors from a local church I'd met one time in my whole entire life came, and he came to talk to me. And he said, hey, I just want to let you know that we love you, we're praying for you, if there's anything that we could do for you, that we're right down the road, so just give us a call. And so I said, all right, thanks, and everything like that, and just water off the duck's back. And he left, and it kept compelling me that night. And I said, why does this guy care about me? He doesn't know me. Why does he care? After I got out of the hospital, and a couple weeks later, it kept bothering me, kept itching at me. And I told my mom, I was like, hey, Mom, on the way to work, do you mind dropping me off at church? no questions asked. She was like, yeah, I'll drop you off at the church. So this is the first time I'd ever asked to go to church before. And so she dropped me off at the church. I went and talked to the youth pastors. I said, why do you say you love me? You don't know me. And he goes, that's what God calls us to do. And so I was like, all right, I don't understand. You have to tell me more. And he said, all right, I'll tell you more. And then being a Southern Baptist, he didn't really tell me about God's grace. It was more hellfire and brimstone and how to stay out of hell. And so I've grown up for the last couple of years thinking that Jesus Christ was just your way out of hell, your ticket out of hell. And he put me up on the youth band and everything like that. And I played guitar for our praise band, living and showing Christ throughout my life, and it wasn't Christ throughout my life. There's the sin, the drugs, the inappropriate relationship with the girls was still behind everything I was doing, even though I was up there praising every single day during our practices and during our worship. And that carried over throughout my senior year of high school and everything like that, all the sin and the struggles I'd been through. And then going into college, I don't have to tell y'all, all the sins and struggles amp up like crazy. All the opportunities are there, and no one there to stop you either. And I went buck wild the beginning of the freshman year. I just absorbed it all in, tried to get as much in as I could, and it was pointless and it was stupid. But the whole entire time I justified in my mind. I was like, you know what, God loves me. I'm saved. I'm not going to hell. You know, I accepted Christ in my life. And this past semester, I've actually got a grip on my alcohol problem that I'd have for a while, and I got elected as chaplain because of overcoming my alcohol problem, which I thought it was because of Christ, but it was because of something that I was just trying to do myself. And this past couple of weeks, Ben Powell, I don't know where he's at. I think Ben's over there. Ben has been begging me and begging me and begging me to come out here to Great Summit, tell me how much of a difference it's going to make in my life. And the whole entire time I was like, you know what, I don't have money to do that. I can't do that. You know, I don't think I'm going to. He ended up holding a spot for me, and after it was too late to apply, I applied, and I got in. And I came out here, and this past Saturday night at our men's group meeting, it's the first time I've ever felt God's hands on me, and I accepted Christ into my life this past Saturday. So y'all are my testimony. Thank you.